Hello and welcome to It's Not Your Parents' Basement, Denver metro area's only first-time homebuyer show. My name's Olivia Konevicius.
And I'm Christian Durland.
Thanks so much for being with us today. We are here to give you an intro to buying your first home. You might have heard this is a good idea, you might be thinking the time has come, but what does it really mean? What do you need to start thinking about when you're possibly tossing around the idea of buying your first home?
And today we're standing in one of the most popular Denver neighborhoods, Rhino.
Yep.
And
otherwise known as River North or
Okay.
Rhino.
Okay, up and coming, and it's popular with first-time homebuyers as well, right?
Absolutely. It's a cool area to buy in, and it's a really cool area to go out in. There's all sorts of new bars and restaurants, breweries, wineries. There's a lot of kind of young energy down in this neighborhood.
Cool. So yeah, buying your first home, what do you need to think about? Well, you need to load up the credit card first, right?
Right, exactly. How are you going to pay for this?
You need money, so that's where I come in as a mortgage banker. I mean, you definitely want to start with financing first. It's different than anything else, right? When you buy anything else, a lot of times you're going straight to the product first. And so people do that a lot with real estate. They start kicking around the idea, they go out and start looking at homes, even going to some open houses, and all of a sudden they fall in love, and what do you tell them as a realtor?
Are you pre-approved?
Right.
No. Oh, well then,
Right.
like pump the brakes
Right.
because you're not able to buy.
Right.
And like you always tell people, it's not like buying a car. This
Right.
is not the same process.
Right. You buy a car, you go to the lot, they want you to pick out the car first. When you're buying a home, you need to get pre-approved first. You need to find out how much you qualify for, and then we kind of reverse engineer it. We back into it. Okay, you qualify for $250,000, let's say, but you might not even want to buy that much of a home. You might only want a monthly payment that represents a $200,000 home. So it's a little different, but yeah.
And I would say too, from my perspective as an agent, the first thing you need to think about is, do you want to create some roots in Denver? Do you want to settle down? Because when you're a renter, sure, you're in a lease, but you can up and leave when that lease is done. You could even possibly break the lease. Buying a house, definitely a bigger commitment, definitely some more responsibility. When your furnace decides to not work anymore, that's your responsibility. There's
Right.
no landlord to call, so that's huge.
Right, and it's putting roots in what neighborhood. I mean, it is a commitment, and so that is the upside to renting. If there is an upside, is the mobility. But if you're ready to commit and you're ready to buy a home, it's a great time right now. But other things you need to think about from the real estate perspective, Olivia, what happens when somebody's finally pre-approved and they're ready to go out with you? What do they need to think about in terms of the house or the condo or whatever they're purchasing?
Well, like you just said, location is huge. So you need to figure out, one, which location you really like. Two, reality check, which location can you afford? Because, we're here in Rhino, and because this neighborhood is so hot, it's gotten really expensive really quickly. So you might love it, but, can you afford it? So you need to figure that out. Another thing you want to talk about and think about is, do you want to buy a single family home? Do you want to buy a condo? Do you want to buy a townhome? You need to think about, let's say you have a single family home, there's yard maintenance. Let's say you're not all about that. You travel for work, or you're just a person that doesn't really feel like doing anything, any kind of exterior maintenance. Maybe it's better to buy inside of an HOA. So that would mean buying a condo or a townhome.
And we did a great video on condos and give you far more detail on condos. So go to our video archive and check that out. But other than that, I mean, it's really just trying to determine if you want to be a homeowner or not, right?
Exactly.
But I can't stress it enough. I mean, you might have some credit issues that you don't even know about. So again, starting with someone like myself, a loan officer, maybe your bank or your credit union, but starting there and getting pre-approved and making sure you can work out any kinks. You might have some credit issues that you don't know about, and that could really hurt your interest rate or other things. So if you have as much runway as possible to sort those things out, you're going to set yourself up and be a more successful buyer, and it's going to be less expensive for you.
And I always like to tell people that come to me, go to Christian first, because he can actually help you make a plan. So let's say you want to buy in 6 months. This is something you need to start now, so you can start thinking about savings. You could start cleaning up your credit so you can get a better interest rate. So it's something you want to put in motion. And even from the real estate side of things, you can go online and look at all sorts of websites now. You can go to Zillow, TrulyOurRealtor.com. Just start doing some searches to see what kind of a house you can get for what price in what neighborhood, because you want to be realistic. You don't want to go into this thinking, sure, I can buy near downtown Denver for $200,000. I can get a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a basement and a 2-car garage, and that's not realistic at all. So you want to make sure you've got a realistic mind frame.
And just sign up for our videos. We do a video every week. We're committed to educating the first-time homebuyer here in the Denver metro area, so we'll continue to be a great resource for you. So, you know, you can download our ebook up here, the Yellow Brick Road to Home Ownership. You can leave a comment below, ask anything you like, share this information with anybody that you like. But other than that, you know, if you've made the decision, get out there and buy your first home. You'll be happy. You did.
Absolutely. And we should say, too, that first-time home buyers, these are actually folks ranging from 23 all the way up to 35. So you might, you know, we're called It's Not Your Parents' Basement, but we're definitely not targeting just a bunch of young people right out of college.
And remember, a first-time home buyer is defined as somebody who hasn't owned a home in the previous 3 years.
Right.
So remember that. That's very important. There's down payment assistance programs available. You know, so again, reach out, become educated, and that way you can give yourself the best chance to do it right.
And never forget,
you'll always remember your first time.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.